Well, hey everybody. Welcome back to another episode of 1025. For athletes and coaches, there's a regular practice of going over the game tape. Of after a game, just sitting down and running through what just happened. Of asking yourself, for good or for bad, what led to the results that you received. And there's something about going over the game tape that recognizes that the results are not final. I mean, yes, for that particular game, that's what happened, but you can learn from that. You can move forward from that. And I believe the same thing is true for us in our Christian lives. Yesterday in worship, I talked about the story of Simon Peter, or Second Chance Simon, as I referred to him. And if you look at his interaction with Jesus post-resurrection, it's really like a coach and a player sitting down and going over the game tape and saying, hey, what just happened here? What led to these results? And it's difficult and it's painful for Peter to go back and go over the game tape. But here's something else that we need to know. As Christians, when we go over the game tape with God, He doesn't lay the guilt trip on us and leave us there in that. That's all Satan's doing. Yes, he brings us back to go over the game tape, but then his invitation is to move forward, to receive forgiveness, to find a fresh start. And so the final words that Jesus said to Peter are, follow me. In other words, get back in the game. It's not over. You have another chance. Those results, your denial of me, that's not final. Your failures, they're not final. You can have a fresh start. And this is my invitation for you, to embrace this regular rhythm of going over the game tape. There's an ancient practice that dates all the way back to the 16th century called the prayer of examen. It's developed by a man named Ignatius of Loyola. And essentially what he invites people to do is to sit down, to find a quiet place, and just to reflect upon their day. It's almost like what I do with my wife every night, where we debrief our day, where we celebrate our wins, where we lament our losses, and where we begin to make plans for the future. It's like a coach who sits down with his players, and he goes through the game tape. And so in this prayer of examen, there are really two simple elements. One is gratitude. Just to look back on your day and to say, what happened today? Where God showed up and did something good. And I can be grateful for that. I can celebrate that. So gratitude. And then the second is around guilt. It's just to look back on your day and to say, is there something that happened that didn't quite go the way that I wanted it to, where I didn't make a good choice here? Lament that. Confess that. Begin that process of asking for forgiveness and receiving that fresh start. So that's my invitation to you today. Just to find some time where you can quiet yourself and reflect back over the last day. You can go back and you can look at the last week if you want, but honestly for me, I found making a habit of this every day is super helpful, because I can't remember the last week, let alone the last few hours sometimes. So just take some time, go over the game tape, and realize that God is the God of the comeback. He's a God of second chances. And I'll see you again tomorrow.